There you are. Welcome to Zen Fits here in Blackstone, Virginia, this beautiful March day. And look, the first flowers of 2024, the first flowers of spring, the first flowers of... I always cut the first flowers of spring and I put them on my altar as an offering. I used to, anyway, I want to get into it. Anyway, first flower of spring, and the title of this talk, this Zen Fit, is Stop the Fibrillating Mind. Stop the Fibrillating Mind. Now, we all know what the shock treatment of, first responders come and somebody's lying there and they bring out the electrical prods and put it on, go, stand back, they want to shock the mind back up. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but the idea that we're working with here is fibrillation. Now, fibrillation is when the heart, again, don't check me with Google, is when the heart normally is boom, 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 right? In, out, up, down, good, bad, yes, no. But when a fibrillation happens, it goes boom, shock, boom, yes, no, yes, no. Fibrillation, it's like stuck. It's paralyzed. It used to be shocked. We do that, all this all the time. Somebody's stuck in a mind fibrillation and go, wake up, stop that. Stop that. So what is this fibrillation? Now what I'm working with here, sharing with you, is my Zen Fit for the day. Now a Zen Fit is a metaphor or an analogy. It's a working idea for you to use when your mind fibrillates. So what does fibrillation feel like? Fear, anxiety. And once you get fear and anxiety, if you don't shock it, it is like a mic and an amplifier. Whoa, 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 whoa. And you're in the newspaper for shooting somebody. Or you have a nervous breakdown. So when that fibrillation starts, wah, 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 it can't be sustained. You know yourself, when you put a mic in front of an amplifier, it feeds back, called feedback loop. Wah, 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 and each feeds the other. So you get wah, wah. So this wah feeds into this wah, makes it bigger, and then this wah feeds into this wah, and it gets bigger, and then this wah feeds into this wah, and it gets bigger, and wah, 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 until the amplifier the system cannot sustain the escalation. So it explodes in some kind of violence, self-destructive, suicide, or against someone else, arguments. Look at our normal everyday life. All of our arguments are fibrillations. And so, but then Zen, particularly cone work, which is what I do, is the art of fibrillation, is the art of stopping the fibrillating mind when it gets stuck in a wah-wah, which we experience as maybe at first a little irritation, and then the irritation grows, and then it grows, and it grows, and it doesn't stop, you see. So what we want to have is a working analogy, a working metaphor, so I can do my own shock treatment. I don't have to go to a priest or a guru or a therapist or whatever, you see, and get some external, call some first responder to come in, or wait until reality gives me a shock. So if we don't induce the shock ourselves, to stop the fibrillation. The world will do it. Your life will do it. Divorce, failure, crash, tragedy, all stopping the fibrillation of the mind, all stopping the blah, blah, blah. So why does this happen? Well, look at my pawn. Now, the mind. See, we're looking at two worlds here. We're looking at the objective world of things, and so I'm using an objective form of the first responder coming with the electric shock to stop, to awaken, to arouse the mind and restore it to its natural rhythm. Oh, I can hear it. The beat, beat, the beat's back, the beat's back. Restore the beat. Restore the oscillation. You see, the consciousness is an oscillation. And when the oscillation freezes and it can't oscillate, it becomes what we call self-conscious. And self-conscious, we know what self-conscious feels like. God damn it. Forgot my mic again. Excuse me for cussing. Keep it at bay here. So we're trying to get a working metaphor here, and and I stumbled upon this morning in my writing, so I'm working it, because we all see it happening every day in the movies, if not in real life. Is when the first responder, he looks like he's dead, and the first responder come and they put the prongs to go pow, pow, and wakes him back up. Your eyes open up, and he goes on. You see. But that's externally, physically. So what happens? The external world, called the macrocosm, is a reflection of the microcosm is a reflection of the macrocosm, the inside. The outside and the inside are the same. They reflect each other. This is an ancient truth that we've forgotten. The modern world has forgotten it. We just think the external world is real and the internal is just opinion, fantasy, wishful thinking, whatever. It doesn't count. It's not real. The world, what's real is things, you see. What is out? This is the material scientific empiricism, is that reality is matter. But reality is also mind. But we can't get to mind because we think reality is matter, is real. So mind is not real. And that's why science today is, they go, oh, we talk about the brain this and the brain that, because the brain can be measured. The brain is matter. Well, science can deal with that. It can't deal with mind because you can't measure it. Can't find it. Can't find your mind. Now you can find somebody else's mind on a scope, but you're just measuring the brain. You can't find mind. So we have to find mind through analogy, through metaphors. And if we want to work on our mind or our consciousness and find out why we keep freezing in fear and why we keep getting paralyzed in self-consciousness or stage fright, or why we are constantly anxious, fearful, doubtful, depressed, all these negative things, when we go to somebody else to fix that. But we have to have a working tool so you can fix yourself. And that's what I'm about, basically discovering working tools or metaphors or analogies that you can use to get a handle on your own, not your mind, but on your consciousness. We can't find mind. That's why nobody can work with it. But consciousness, you can find your consciousness through the pain. You can find your consciousness through the irritation and the fear, through the negative. When it's positive, like, oh, I'm so happy and all that, we don't care about it because now everything's all right. But the moment it becomes negative, oh, that person, I thought it was so great and it all fell apart. And now what am I going to do? Oh me, oh my, and we get caught up in that. And now we begin to get a wow, 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 wow until finally shoot ourselves. So what I'm interested in is finding working tools, metaphors, that you can operate on yourself. And this is a good one. I mean, I like it. The mind fibrillates because the mind, self-consciousness explains itself. Self-conscious, conscious of self. So that is a split mind. Consciousness of self, you see. The yin is conscious of the yang is conscious of the yin. Now this is external, but really this is a symbol or a working metaphor for your consciousness. And so you can't really say the yang is the yin. You say the yang is the yang and the yin is the yang, but the yang is also the yin and the yin is also the yang. That's why I switched to this. You see, what am I? Am I the hag? You know, I got to tell you again because somebody may not have watched it. The hag here this is her big nose. This is her right eye. This is her mouth. Or the princess. Now this is reversing it, so now the princess, this is her little eye here, and this is her right cheek, and this is her necklace. So the hag is looking this way, and the princess is looking that way. So this is a metaphor for consciousness that is split into two images. We all see that. You look in the mirror and say, oh my God, I look like a hag. And then you put on a new dress or new suit or get a shave and a haircut and all that. You say, oh man, I look like a prince. Just a minute ago, you looked like a hag. The mind also has two faces, one good, one bad. And depending on the situation is which one you see. Oh, I'm really bad. Oh, I'm okay. It oscillates. But when the oscillation gets frozen, which we call stage fright or fear, you know, like you're going to jump out of a plane and you're paralyzed by fear. You can't jump. Or a diving board, you can't jump and you're paralyzed. What's paralyzed? This is paralyzed. The mind is stuck. It's not able to oscillate. It's stuck. It can't breathe. It can't go like a wave. It's stuck in fear. Fear is a mind that's stuck in itself. It can't breathe. It can't oscillate. It's lost its flow, you see. Can't act. It can't act. So what do we do normally in these situations? Well, a shock. In war, if the soldier gets shocked, his sergeant will slap him. Get out of it. Or stage fright. The only way to get rid of stage fright is to step out on the stage and it's gone. The fright is always before you act, not when you act. So self-consciousness is not being frozen in action, it's being fear of action. And what is action but life? So it's fear of life, you see. So the mind gets separated and goes whoa, 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 and it can't act. And so when this becomes a habit, we start taking medication, or we go to therapy, or we go to in-depth psychology, or we get into drugs or alcohol or violence. Violence stops the mind from fibrillating, you know. So anyway, I'm just trying to draw a metaphor here, working metaphor, of the fibrillating mind, and the only way to stop it is through a shock. 9/11 shocked the American collective mind from its fibrillation and how great we are. Nobody can touch us. This has been the American obsession. You know, we're across the ocean. Europe's over there. Asia's over there. Nobody can touch us. We're omnipotent. And then the towers came down, and that was a shock. And we fell into, I don't know, into a fibrillation. We fell into a paralysis, you know. And so what did Bush do? Well, we're going to get out of this paralysis by going to war. And we'll be great again. So it picked out somebody we could beat. Didn't go to who caused the 9/11. We need an army, not a bunch of bearded guys in a cave. Anyway, that's another story. But the idea, if you look around and look at yourself, you'll see that this fibrillation is the mind that gets stuck in a wah-wah, whoa, 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 whoa. And so it takes a shock to break it free. And of course, I'll end with this, that I work with Zen cones, and by that now, the way I work with Zen cone is that I find Zen cones everywhere. I find it in everyday mind, not in some Zen book, but in my everyday life. It's full of these little metaphors or examples or analogies that allow me to work with the fibrillation, with the fear of my mind, you see. For a lot of people, just stepping up here to a camera with no script is paralyzing. How do you get out of that? You just do it. Thanks for dropping in. Hope you find a Zen fit today.